What's up, guys? Back here with another Mario Kart video, and just gonna do another story time. I've realized that most of my story times are actually just with the same coworker, but you know, we have good conversations, so I feel like it makes for good story times. Anyways, something we talked about is the World Cup, because the World Cup is happening here in North America, or especially here in Canada. And I was telling my coworker pretty much simply about how corrupt FIFA really is, and about how the corruption levels of FIFA are in a roundabout way unmatched. Like, it's absolutely insane with this on the stuff that they do and they get away with. And yeah, so let's just get into it. Basically, conversation started with us talking about FIFA and how the World Cup is starting, and I basically said, yeah, well, FIFA's a pretty corrupt company. I'm not going to sit here and say that it's not, but I kind of exposed, I kind of exposed that I was going to keep it, you know, neutral, but whatever. I work with a lot of women. Anyways, she basically asked, like, oh, you're going to watch the World Cup? And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to watch it. It's just that the company FIFA is just so corrupt. And a lot of you might not know this, but FIFA actually takes 100% of the profits for when a company is hosting the World Cup, which is kind of crazy already as it is, because you have to bid to get to the World Cup, and then everything, like, you're paying pretty much for everything. And the only thing that you get, or is pretty much like in your deal, I guess, in a roundabout way, is you get 100% of the tourist attraction money. But it doesn't take a genius to figure out that the world is in a little bit of a let's just say, like, they don't really want to travel here to North America right now, especially the United States. So so when you look at, you know, the rules that sorry, one sec, I'll just continue this in the next race. Like 12th place, 13th. God damn it, man, 13th place, are you kidding me? Anyways, as I was saying, I'm pretty sure I was just talking about how FIFA takes all the money from all the games, and the only thing that people necessarily, or the hosting countries or country, get are tourists, and they get to keep all the money from tourist action and, you know, tourists spending their money and all that stuff. But it doesn't take a genius to figure out that right now not many people really want to travel, let alone to North America, because of the whole, you know, USA and all that stuff and whatever's going on in the whole world right now. So aside from that, yeah, the FIFA is unbelievably corrupt. There is no way that these guys, the money just consumes them. It's an absolute insane thing to say, but it doesn't matter how you look at it. Oh my goodness. It doesn't matter how you look at it. The money just, it actually just consumes them so much. Wherever the money is, they will go. They do not care about political tensions. They do not care about anything. They will play whatever side gives them the most money. And it's kind of sad when you really think about it, because soccer, or, well, to anyone that is not from North America, it's like, soccer is a game that's, it's the most common and played sport in the world. It's supposed to be a sport that brings people together. Oh, please. It's supposed to be a sport that brings people together, yet it's being monetized by the rich, which is just so unbelievably sad when you really think about it. And not just that, you have to look at, like, the political tensions involved too. Russia, when they started their war with Ukraine, are you kidding me? Yeah, when Russia started their war with Ukraine, they got immediately sanctioned and banned from pretty much everything. And like, and FIFA included, right? They weren't allowed to play sports, whatever. But now you look at the war of the US and Israel versus Iran, and especially what Iran has been doing, let alone to Gaza and Palestine for a long ass time. They aren't banned. Why? Well, come on, you know the answer. The answer is money, right? As much as they will disagree and say that's not true, it's 100% true. Oh my god, are you kidding me? Damn, I was talking too much shit. Man, yo, who sent a hit on me? God damn it, 12th place. But yeah, as I was saying, regardless of whatever side you're on, or if you're no politics, no this, no that, whatever, it's just very unfortunate to see that, like I was saying in my earlier statement, that a game that's supposed to be, you know, accessible and free and easy to play is being monetized by the rich, and they're just taking advantage pretty much of the people because they know that this is the most watched sport in the whole world and everyone wants to watch, and this is a big event, and it's unfortunate that they're the ones who are monetizing the events. And yeah, it's kind of just terrible. But there's a lot of like other things that go on behind the scenes for why FIFA is also just a terrible company. You have the whole like them conspiring with the United States and the whole Iran situation, because I don't know how in tune people are with the Iran situation right now, but they pretty much 8% of, I think it's roughly 8% of the tickets are allowed to go for are saved for like the other team, the opposing team, wherever they're at, like their fan base. And the US basically said, haha, yeah, sucks to be you guys. You don't get that 8%. And they kind of just took that away, and FIFA pretty much did nothing about it. And on top of that, all the games that Iran has to play in the States, they have to fly in and out on the same day, which is terrible, right? But, oh my god. But FIFA's doing nothing about it, let alone they're not even trying to be peaceful, they're trying to be quiet, they're just agreeing with it. And it's like, it's crazy. It's like, how do you allow this type of discrimination right in front of the public's eye? And it's insane. Like, yes, I understand they're at war and it happens to be at the host country and all that stuff, but Iran even asked FIFA, like, hey, can we move our games from the States? We'll just make it a lot easier, like put the games in Canada, put the games in Mexico, whatever. They said no. And it just shows you that FIFA really doesn't care. They're all about that money. They don't care. They're going to pick whatever side gives them the most money. And I don't know about you guys, but this kind of reminds me of the episode of Black Mirror. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Black Mirror, where they're in that like building and they have to like generate electricity by like riding bikes and all that shit, and the world is, you know, they're forced to see ads pretty much everywhere they go, which is kind of insane, kind of an insane reality, but they're forced to like see ads everywhere they go, and the only way they can afford not to see the ads is they pay money. And that's pretty much what's happening in FIFA right now. They added a hydration break for the players, quote unquote, for the players, but yet they're showing ads, right? If you ask me, that's just an easy money grabbing scheme. Oh, you add an extra break for the players, but now you're able to show more ads and show more this or whatever. Man, they don't care about the players. They just care about the money that's going to bring in, how much more ad spaces that they can put in. And we're kind of like going into a little bit of a dystopian world, it kind of feels like, if we're being completely honest. But FIFA is pretty much, I would say, the start of this. And like I said, the corruption knows no bounds. Like, it's absolutely insane. And here in Canada, one of my boys, he wanted to go to a game. I just don't have the money. I couldn't afford to go to the game. But it was Senegal versus Iraq. Man, the tickets are literally $675 each. Me and him would be spending $1,500 to go to a game. Isn't that absolutely insane? Oh my god, I came 16th place too. I was too busy yapping. I came 16th place. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I was saying before the last race ended that the games are unbelievably expensive. And the crazy thing about the games being inexpensive is it's just so hard to watch. Like, you can't really watch anything unless you have money, and this is pretty much where it all comes down to. So a game that's supposed to be meant for everybody can only be watched by people who have money now, and can only be played by people who have money, and it's just terrible, and there's nothing actually being done about it in a roundabout way. So as I was saying, yeah, I went a little bit off topic, but FIFA's corruption, it knows no bounds. Sorry, it knows no bounds. It's such an insane thing. And this is my hot take on the topic of the conversation too. The World Cup should not be hosted in a country or countries, plural, where soccer or football, wherever you're from, is not the main sports. And it's just because you can't generate the amount of hype. You look back at the other World Cups, right? You look at 2014 South Africa, right? Huge event. It was absolutely insane. One of the most memorable World Cups that I can actually remember, right? Like, it's, oh my goodness. It's just in an area where soccer is the most prominent sport, and that's what it needs to be. In North America, soccer, I think, is not even... Oh, God, don't even quote me on this. I don't even think it's top 5. You got, depending on where you're from, you got hockey, and you got the NHL, you got the MLB, you got the NBA, you got the NFL, and then maybe soccer, I think. I don't even know. But, yeah, FIFA kind of just goes wherever the money is, and it's really sad to see. And it's very corrupt, and the truth is nothing is really going to be done about it unless people start boycotting it. But it's really hard to boycott FIFA because I understand from like the player's perspective as well too. Like, it happens once every 4 years, and this is your one opportunity to, you know, come out, show out for not just oops, one second. Oh, I messed that up so badly. I did not even get a second box. Sorry. To show up for your country and actually like play for your country and to represent your country. So to some people, like, this is the, in their countries, this is the biggest achievement that you can possibly achieve, you know? And then even if they do play for their country, sometimes they get noticed. Oh my God, this is the worst race event so far. And it's just a big event, and it can change their life, and I don't blame them for wanting to not boycott FIFA. Oh my God, came dead last. No, I didn't. Thank God. Alright, where was I? Anyways, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure that was just the end of my rant. I was just ranting to my coworker actually about how people are just so corrupt, and it's insane. Just like the way they're able to get away with things and do things, and it's kind of sad. I've said that a million times already, but yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. That's pretty much my rant, and we just kind of talked about that for a while too. I feel like I did more of the talking on this story time though with me and my coworker, because I was kind of just explaining the whole like how FIFA works. And they also added, I forgot to mention too, they also added more slots to the World Cup. So if that doesn't talk about, hey, we want more viewership from more countries and we want more money, then I don't know what does in a roundabout way. Oh my God. But it does also, you know, as much as there are cons, giving these smaller nations and giving more nations an opportunity to compete is a good thing in a roundabout way. But yeah, FIFA, terrible company, terrible company, super money hungry. They have a lot of like scandals and really bad just like political takes. Even though they're quote unquote supposed to remain politically neutral, and they're not really supposed to do all these things, they don't care. They go where the money is, and they have really bad takes. Like, one of the worst ones I've seen in recent times from FIFA I think it was one of the FIFA directors was trying to get the Palestinian head of the football division or like football club team to shake the hands of like the Israeli thing or whatever and say, oh yeah, it's all peace and love here, like this, like that's absolutely terrible. Like, that guy needs some media training. But yeah, pretty much like I said, just pure corruption. They don't really care. It's all about the money for them. I just ruined that guy's day. Alright, let's go. Yeah, but on the topic of the World Cup, yeah, I don't really like to gamble, but I did put $10 down on a future, which I thought was a good idea. I don't know too much about soccer, so don't hate me on this. I have no idea if this is a crazy bet or not, but I was like, whatever. I feel like this is a good show. The bet I made was, I think it's Portugal to win the whole thing, and then Julian Alvarez, who plays for Argentina, if I'm not mistaken, to have the most goals scored in the entirety of the World Cup. So I have no idea. Oh my goodness. I have absolutely no idea if that's a good bet or not. Like I said, I don't really watch soccer too much. Not my main sport to watch, but just a little for fun, $10 bet. 5th place! Hey, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. Anyways, maybe not the best for Mario Kart. I definitely had some high highs, and I definitely had some low lows, but that's just Mario Kart at the end of the day. And if I want to start winning more, I just have to put in the time, and I have to get better. Anyways, with that being said, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.